The 10 greatest pharaohs in world history. In Egypt, the pharaohs embodied the supreme power of the kings on earth. They were known for their wealth, strength, and enigmatic lives that remain unresolved to this day. Below are the 10 most famous pharaohs in history. 1. Tutankhamun, the most famous pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Nebkheper Tutankhaten. Tutankhamun, known as Tutankhamun or King Tut, was the son of Pharaoh Akhenaten and a yet-to-be-identified sister of Akhenaten, known only as the Younger Lady. He was born in 1341 BC and died in 1323 BC. He was the pharaoh of Egypt during the 18th dynasty of the New Kingdom. He ascended the throne at the age of 9, ruled for 10 years, and died at the young age of 19, earning him the title of the Boy King. Tutankhamun's tomb is famous for the curses and the deaths associated with it. Howard Carter and George Herbert, Earl of Carnarvon, discovered Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922, almost intact. According to records, while exploring Pharaoh Tutankhamun's tomb, Lord Carnarvon saw an inscription that read, "Death will come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king." The mummy of Tutankhamun and the artifacts from his tomb have been exhibited in many countries, including France, the United States, Germany, Japan, Australia, and many others. In the exhibition held at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in the United States, from November 17, 1976, to April 15, 1979, Tut's tomb attracted over 8 million visitors. In the 1977 edition of the book, The Discovery of the Tomb of Tutankhamun, John Manship White wrote, "Here is a pharaoh who was little known in life, but now, in death, is truly famous." 2. Ramses II, the great pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Ramses II, the son of Pharaoh Seti I and Queen Tuya, was born in 1300 BC. Unlike King Tut, he lived a long life and died in 1213 BC at the age of 97. Ramses II was the third pharaoh of the 19th dynasty of Egypt and is also known as Ramses the Great. He is celebrated as the most magnificent, noble, and powerful pharaoh of Egypt. He assumed the role of co-regent at the age of 14 and ascended the throne as a young adult. Ramses II is recognized as one of the greatest, most powerful, and highly praised kings in the history of ancient Egypt. He is renowned for the monumental structures built during his reign, including the temples of Abu Simbel, Abydos, Ramesseum, Luxor, and Karnak. Ramses had numerous children. While the exact number is unknown, Egyptologists believe he had over 44 sons and more than 40 daughters. After his death, Pharaoh Ramses was buried in the Valley of the Kings. His mummy was later transported to the royal cache, where it was discovered in 1881 and is now housed in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. 3. Narmer, the first unified pharaoh of Egypt. According to many Egyptologists' speculation, Narmer is believed to be the first king to unify Egypt, belonging to the early 31st century BC. The identity of Narmer is still debated, although most Egyptologists today have equated Narmer with the pharaoh of the First Dynasty, means, who is also recognized as the one who unified Egypt and the first pharaoh. The famous Narmer palette was discovered by James E. Quibell in 1888. The Narmer palette is a carved limestone artifact found on a cliff face and is Quibell's notable discovery. This palette depicts Narmer as the first pharaoh to unify Egypt. Narmer's tomb consists of 2 adjoining chambers located in the vicinity of the Ka tomb. 4. Djoser, the step pyramid pharaoh. Djoser, the son of King Khafre and Queen Nimethap, was the ruler of the 3rd dynasty around 2670 BCE. He succeeded Khafre and was the predecessor of Sekhemkhet. He is renowned for his monumental construction, the step pyramid, designed and built by the architect Imhotep during his reign. Djoser was buried within this famous pyramid. The colorful painted limestone statues from his tomb are now preserved in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. They are among the oldest and life-sized ancient Egyptian statues ever discovered. These statues were excavated in 1924. A plaster replica of one of these statues has been made and is displayed at the original excavation site in Saqqara. 5. Khufu, the builder of the Great Pyramid. Khufu, the son of Pharaoh Sneferu and Queen Hetepheres I, was the second pharaoh of the 4th dynasty, reigning from 2589 to 2566 BC. He is known for his construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. All the statues and reliefs related to Khufu that have been discovered are either broken or in a damaged condition. The only intact statue of Khufu is a small ivory statuette measuring about 3 inches, found in a crumbling shrine at Abydos in 1903. Khufu is mentioned in the Westcar Papyrus, a famous book of magic and spells from the 3rd dynasty. Khufu's legacy primarily revolves around his architectural masterpiece, the Great Pyramid. It stands as a testament to the incredible engineering and monumental construction achievements of ancient Egypt. 6. Userkaf, the founder of the 5th dynasty. The name Userkaf means powerful soul. He was the founding pharaoh of the 5th dynasty of Egypt, and the first to initiate the construction of the Sun Temple at Abuser. He reigned from 2994 to 2487 BC, during which he built the Userkaf pyramid, where he was later interred. His Sun Temple at Abu-Ghurab was initially discovered by Richard Lepsius in the 19th century, studied by Ludwig Borchardt in the 20th century, and excavated by Herbert Rick in 1954. Naguib Mahfouz, the Egyptian Nobel Laureate, also published a story related to Userkaf in 1934. The book is titled Afw al-Malik Userkaf, Asusa Misriya, which roughly translates to the forgiveness of King Userkaf, according to Raymond Stock's temporary translation. 7. Nebda Menshahotep II. Nebda Menshahotep II was the son of Intef III and Aya. He was born in 2061 BC and died in 2010 BC. He was a pharaoh of the 11th dynasty. His reign lasted for 51 years, from 2061 to 2010 BC. Menshahotep II had several wives, including Queen Neferu I, whose name means the most beautiful, and Kawit, who was referred to as the beloved wife of the king. His 4 concubines were named Sada, Ashayet, Henhenit, and Kemsit. They were all beautiful consorts of Nebda. Menshahotep I. When the pharaoh passed away, Queen Neferu II was buried alongside him in the tomb at Deir el-Bahri, and the remaining 4 were interred in a shared burial chamber in the underground level of the Menshahotep II temple. 8. Kakarari Senusret III. Kakarari Senusret III was the son of Pharaoh Senusret II and Queen Khenemetnerfetij I. He had 2 wives, Khenemetnefredade I and Neferthenut, who were buried in the nearby areas of the king's pyramid complex in Dashur. He reigned from 1878 to 1839 BC and was the 5th pharaoh of the 12th dynasty of the Middle Kingdom period. He is known for overseeing the construction of the Sanastris Canal. He is also famous for his grand fortresses such as Buan, Hashka, Semna, and Uranardi. During his reign, he expanded the territory of the kingdom and conveyed a message to his children, stating, "Those who fight for me, who protect the territory I have developed, are truly my offspring. But those who shirk their responsibilities and do not fight for the kingdom are not truly my children." Senusret III is among the few kings who were deified and revered throughout their lifetime. 9. Akhenaten. Akhenaten was the son of Pharaoh Amenhotep III and Queen Tai. He was a pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of Egypt. Akhenaten reigned for 17 years, 1353–1336 BC. He had 5 wives, among whom Queen Nefertiti is the most famous and renowned to this day. The reason for her fame may be attributed to her unique and innovative approach to religious reform. Both the king and queen discouraged the worship of multiple deities and instead focused on the worship of a single god, Aten. 10. Cleopatra VII Philopator. Cleopatra VII Philopator, famously known as Queen Cleopatra, was the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Her reign was under the Ptolemaic dynasty, which continued after the death of Alexander the Great, the ruler of the Greek Empire, who had dominion over Egypt at the time. During her dynasty, the Greek language was more prevalent than the Egyptian language. Greek was used in daily life, as well as in official documents. However, Cleopatra was educated in the Egyptian language and considered herself the embodiment of the Egyptian goddess Isis. Initially, she co-ruled the kingdom with her father, then with her siblings, and ultimately took sole control, becoming the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt. To this day, Cleopatra remains an iconic figure in Western culture. Her reputation has been transmitted through numerous dramatized stories, portrayed in theatrical productions, visual arts, plays, and music.